All right, so pandas, am I right? So panda backbones are oriented horizontally, where their shoulders are like in line with their pelvis, pretty much like this. Um, but they are kind of further developed than most bears for sitting upright. Like they have more sacral and costal, or however you say that word, vertebrae, and their pelvis is like pretty elongated, so they can like breath rhythm. Panda's resting heart rate is about 80 beats per minute, which is like kind of slow for a human, but like in the normal range. And then they breathe 20 to 40 times a minute-ish. That's the only number I could find. So they breathe a little bit faster than we do. Pandas, for the weight, pandas weigh about 220 to 254 pounds, so they're a bit chunky. And their center of mass, I think, is probably like a little bit like panda. There's the spine. It's probably a little bit more towards the head and shoulders along their spine, but still like fairly in the middle, because they have an enlarged skull and they carry a lot of weight like in their rib cage area and in their shoulders. But they can roll super easy. So I think it's pretty much in the center, but like a little bit farther up near the shoulders. Space, adult pandas have no natural predators except for humans, but that doesn't really count. So they're content to just like chill in the middle of a room. Their kinesphere is, I'd say it's medium sized. They can move quickly and attack if need be, but they're very docile, so they rarely ever do. So they're just kind of chilling. Eyes, pandas have eyes at the front of their skull like we do, because technically, biologically speaking, they are a predator, though they are herbivores. And pandas have dichromatic sight, which means they can differentiate between like grayscale and color, but they can't differentiate colors. And then their pupils also allow them to move around at night, but even all of those things considering, their vision is still pretty shitty. Rhythm of life. Pandas have an extremely low metabolism. Like they have the same metabolism rate as a sloth, and they are big. So they spend 12 to 14 hours a day eating bamboo and chilling, and it has to do with their digestion. They can't really digest bamboo because they're biologically carnivores. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Pandas are very docile, easygoing creatures, and they live in solitary. The only time you'll see two pandas together in the wild is when a mother is taking care of her cub. And pandas can live from 20 to 30 years, depending on if they're in the wild or in captivity. And they reach sexual maturity around 4 to 6. Sounds, pandas make not the sound you would think they make at all. They have very high-pitched, like almost nasally sounds. Like they do this thing when they're playing where it's like my dog does it. It's like, I call it a mosquito yell. It's like, it's like that. They also bleat like a goat or a sheep, and like they bleat when threatened. They bark. But they don't have, like, bears you generally think have like that throat, like that chesty roar, but pandas are very like up here, very cute. And balance of senses. Their primary sense is their sense of smell. That's how they communicate, because they are such solitary creatures. They leave scent markings on trees, so they're very attuned sense-wise. They also have very good hearing. They can hear ultrasonic sounds. Their sight is not good. And then their sense of touch and taste are probably on par with any other animal. Taste, they just eat bamboo all day, so they there you go. All right, are there any other panda facts I missed? I feel like I talked for a really long time. I tried to keep it condensed. I'm a nerd for animals. Okay, so transformation time. This is weird. Okay, here we go. So back. I also need to get where you can see my body. bone. Hey, off camera. I felt every bone in my spine pop when I did that. Panda!